sorry, my puppy is in the room right now, so you might hear some weird noises in the background. That's just her. Second, I already did my foundation. I'm really sorry about that, but the reason I did it was because I have a scratch on my face right here. And I decided that it was a good opportunity to show you guys how I cover stuff like that. Scratches, kind of scars, pimples, anything like that. So I did a video on that. Hopefully it'll be up before this one. As always, it's linked if it is. Anyway, so I am doing the Taylor Swift inspired look, and I'm going to be referencing the picture quite often, so I'm probably going to be looking down at my phone quite a bit, and she's on my table. So I'm going to be referencing the picture quite a bit here. Alright, so I'm going to start out by priming my eyelids, and I'm going to be using my Painterly Paint Pot from MAC. I really like this just because it mutes out everything on the eyelid, makes it look like I don't have any veininess. Also really helps to cover up those stray hairs that I haven't gotten threaded yet. So I'm just going to set the Painterly Paint Pot with this kind of flesh tone color over here. It's in like the very first section of the palette. Just going to take it on a big fluffy brush and just sweep it over the Painterly Paint Pot. Okay, so next I'm going to go in and do my brows, and I'm going to do those off camera because I'm not trying to replicate Taylor Swift's brows here. I'm just going to do them normally. Hers are very kind of just filled in. There's no sparse hairs or anything like that. I don't want to duplicate the shape. We're just looking for the general look here, so I'm just going to go in and do mine real quick. So I'm going to be using the Shade and Light Eye Palette from Kat Von D and also the Smashbox Double Exposure Palette. There's only one color in here that I'll be using, but the majority is this. You don't need this palette to do this. You just need kind of like a gray color and a deep black. So that's what I'll be using in here. It's going to be this taupey gray color up here and then the black. This is such a wonderfully pigmented black, which is why I love using it. So that's why I'm using this palette in particular. So for the very first step, I'm gonna go in with a dome-shaped round brush. I use this all the time. It's my e.l.f. Professional blending brush. You'd think I'd have that memorized by now. I'm gonna dip into the light gray color, and this is going to go right in the crease area. I'm gonna zoom you in real quick. Just gonna get that right in the crease. Now Taylor Swift also has hooded eyes like I do. Hers are a lot more hooded than mine. So depending upon your level of hoodedness, or if you don't have any hoodedness at all, you wouldn't bring up the color very far. But if you do have super hooded eyes, you do want to make sure you are getting color in your crease, as well as on the upper lid part that kind of droops down over your crease. Now these are extremely pigmented eyeshadows. You don't need a ton of shadow to get a good color payoff. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another fluffy blending brush. This is actually an e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. I'm just going to use it to blend out the gray up here, just so that there is no harsh line at all and it looks beautifully blended. Alright, so next we're going to be going into the black. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this same kind of brush, just dip it into the black, tap off any extra because this is an extremely pigmented black. And I'm going to go in and we're going to actually cut the crease with this. So what I'm doing here is I'm just doing back and forth motions only in the crease. Do not bring it up onto your hood, and try not to bring it down onto the lid. Keep it in your crease. Just like that. So when I raise my eyebrows, you can see it pretty well. But when my face is relaxed like this and I'm looking up, just the slightest hint of black in there. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the black into the outer V portion and into about the about 1/3 of the eye to about here. It's going to be all black on the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this down into my outer V area, just kind of connect it from the crease down to the corner of the eye. And I'm gonna go in about a third of the way. So that's about as far as I want to go into the eye with this. And I always like to check back and forth just to make sure that they're even. Especially because I have two different shaped hoods on my face. I'll fix this up with concealer later, just because my eye is a little bit more hooded on the right side than it is the left. So it's a little bit difficult to get equally matching areas, but I try my best. Okay, so that is a little bit messy right now, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do is now we're gonna go into the Smashbox Double Exposure Palette, and the color we're going to be using is this beautiful shimmery silver shade. So any shimmery silver will work for this. And I'm gonna grab a flat brush like this. This is my e.l.f. smudge brush. Just kind of a flat brush. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spray some of the Smashbox primer water on the brush. Okay, so you can just use regular water. You don't have to use primer water or a setting spray or anything like that. The purpose of this is just to get the brush wet so I can get the product wet, to give it a little bit more shine and dimension. Getting a eyeshadow wet just gives it a different kind of a look, makes it look wet, makes it look more shiny, so I really want to do that for this look. So I'm just going to spray the brush with the Smashbox spray like this and dip it into the silver color. And we're going to be patting this or packing this all over the open space of the eyelid here. And what you want to do is you want to take it all the way on the lid up to the black here in the crease. So just stop once you get to the crease. Alright, so now that we've got that like that, we're going to go back into the black eyeshadow and just intensify the outer corner, get it as black as we possibly can get it. And if you want to use a more precise brush for this at this point rather than the dome-shaped brush, definitely go ahead and do that. I am going to do that as well. I'm going to be using the, this is the brush that came with the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I'm going to use the smaller flat shader type brush, dip that into the black, and pat it on the outer corner. And what I'm going to do when I get to this silver part here, I'm going to take whatever's left on the brush, which is barely anything, and just pat it lightly kind of over the silver. What that's going to do is create a gradient effect of a little bit of gray looking eyeshadow. And make it look like it just kind of naturally flows more towards the silver. And now I'm going to take one of the brushes that I got from the Smashbox palette and use this very tiny dome-shaped brush, dip it into the black, and kind of cut the crease a little bit more, re-intensify that black in there. And if you need to go back into the silver and fix anything, you can go ahead and do that at this point once the black is built up to the intensity that you want it. And then finally we'll go back in with that blending brush and just blend a little bit just to make sure that there's no harsh black edges. Alright, so now before I move on with the rest of the eyes, I'm going to go in and conceal my under eyes and fix up the edges of my eyeshadow. And to do that, I'm going to be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and set the under eye concealer with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. Alright, so now that I'm all concealed here, we're going to go back in and finish up the eyes. As you can see, I kind of just sharpened up the edges of the eye look here. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this NARS Larger Than Life Long Wear Eyeliner. It's kind of a crayon type of eyeliner. And I'm going to go in and put this in my waterline, also my tight line, and then also on the bottom lash line, just hugging the lashes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that Smashbox brush that I used before that has that really small dome tipped brush. And I'm just gonna go in the bottom lash line and just kind of smudge out the liner on the bottom. And I'm not gonna do it too much because I don't wanna have super raccoon eyes. I'm just trying to disperse the product a little bit more so it's less clumpy and chunky. And now we're gonna move up to the upper lash line. And what I'm gonna be using is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. I'm just gonna draw a very thin line on my upper lash line on the top. All right, so just like that is what we're looking for. And then what you can do is if you don't have super hooded eyes, you can create a wing on the end. I'm going to do a very subtle kind of baby wing because I have very hooded eyes on the edges. My eyes kind of droop down a little bit on the side, so it's difficult for me to do an actual wing, but I'm just gonna do what I can and work with my eye shape on it. But if you don't have hooded eyes or you can do a really nice wing on the end, you go ahead and do that. All right, so that is the wing that I created. It was a very small kind of baby wing. You can go as dramatic as you want. You can follow the exact shape of the black eyeshadow that we created, what have you. So the next step is we need an inner corner highlight and a brow bone highlight. And to do that, today I'm going to be using the NYX Illuminator in Ritualistic. It looks like this. It's kind of a gorgeous, like, goldy white illuminator. I'm gonna use my same brush that I used before that I used the Smashbox primer water on. I'm gonna get it wet again. Dip my brush into the illuminator and be putting this on the inner corner of my eye here. Down just ever so slightly into the lower lash line here, just meeting up with that black eyeliner. Hopefully you can see that. It's a really gorgeous highlight. I'm also going to take it and put it right under the brow bone, right here on the edge. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and curl my eyelashes and apply a little bit of the, this is the MAC Extended Play Mascara. I'm just going to apply this to my lashes because I just want them black at this point because I am going to be applying falsies, which is not something I normally do, but I am getting used to it and I really like the way they look, so we'll do that today. And then the lashes that I am going to be applying today are the Ardell Demi Wispies. Love these. These are so pretty. They're, I wouldn't call them overly natural looking, at least on me, just because they're so long. But they're beautiful, beautiful lashes. I do need to trim them to fit my eye, so just keep that in mind if you're not overly familiar with falsies. You are going to want to trim them if they're a little bit too long. So for me, these definitely are. I just clip them. I cut off about, like, I don't know, I cut off quite a bit actually to fit my eye shape, but yeah. So I'm going to apply these off camera because I am still very new at applying eyelashes. It's a little difficult for me, so there's no way I could record it. Alright guys, so here's what the lashes look like on. I'm just going to go in and coat them with a coat of the Extended Play Mascara, just to kind of blend them in with my natural lashes. And those are what the eyes look like done. So now we're going to move on to the rest of the face. Now, I noticed in the picture, she did not look like she had any blush on or any highlighter, any contour. Now, I know Taylor Swift really probably doesn't contour her face, at least it never looks like she does, so I'm not going to, but I am going to put a slight amount of blush on, and the one I'm going to use is the CoverGirl Classic Color Blush. This is number 570 in Natural Glow. It's a very kind of peachy nude type of blush, just because it really looks like she's not wearing anything. So I'm just going to go in very lightly with this. I'm not someone who doesn't wear blush, so I kind of have to apply it, otherwise it's going to bother me. So I'm just going to go in and lightly dust this just on the apples of the cheeks, and I'm just going to bring it back a little bit kind of towards the hairline. So now I'm going to go back into the NYX Ritualistic Illuminator and I'm going to highlight my face. And I'm just going to be using my Real Techniques contour brush, which I always use for highlight. I just like the way it applies, and apply that to all the high points of my face that I normally would highlight. You can skip this step as well because it really looks like she's not wearing any. But again, highlight is one of my favorite steps in the entire makeup process, so I'm not gonna skip it. All right, and now we're on to the very last step of the look, and that is lips. Now she always is wearing a red lipstick, which is my thing, so I'm definitely not straying away from that. So today I'm gonna be using, I tried to color match her lipstick the best that I could. I don't know what she's wearing, no clue. She always has kind of a different red lipstick on, so I have no idea. But I decided to go with today the Anastasia Beverly Hills Liquid Lipstick in American Doll. And I'm going to top it with the Revlon. This is just one of their Revlon Color Burst lip glosses. This one is in Fire. It's a red gloss. It's very pigmented for a gloss. And I really like the combo of the two. I'm not a huge fan of lip gloss, but she is not wearing matte lips, so I wanted to kind of keep it as true to the picture as I could. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this. Okay, so this is what American Doll looks like all by itself. So if you wanted to keep it matte, you could totally just wear this and be done. I am gonna do a little bit of shine though with the lip gloss. All right, and then this is with the lip gloss, and as you can see, it really just amped up the color, made the whole look a bit more glamorous in my opinion. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I am so, I feel really, really pretty in this look. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you would like me to do other celebrity inspired tutorials or recreations like this, please let me know. And if you can link me a picture, that would be awesome. You can leave it down in the comments. I do also have Instagram and Facebook, so you can post pictures to me there as well. I would be thrilled to death. Or just let me know a celebrity and I'll look through their Google images and find a nice look of theirs to recreate. So just let me know down in the comment section what you want to see, if you like these videos and if you want to see more of them. So thank you guys so much for watching. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.